They're not just tolerating death anymore, guys. They're mandating it straight from your doctor's office. Yes, you heard that correctly. Health Canada is now forcing doctors to peddle euthanasia like it's Advil for your aches. Canadian government is forcing doctors to promote euthanasia to patients. According to this report, 3 doctors warn that Health Canada's guidelines are forcing physicians to present euthanasia as a normal treatment option to vulnerable patients, contradicting their earlier promises. Medical assistance in dying? More like medical assistance in murder. And it's hitting the most vulnerable right between the eyes. When they first legalized this back in 2016, they promised that no doctor would be forced and no hospital would be coerced to play the Grim Reaper. Well, folks, fast forward to 2023, and those lies evaporated like a morning mist. Health Canada's guidelines have slammed the hammer down. Doctors and nurses must shove assisted suicide down patients' throats as a treatment option for suffering. Under the Model Practice Standard for Medical Assistance in Dying, or MAID, under Section 6.1, it says physicians and nurse practitioners must take reasonable steps to ensure persons are informed of the full range of treatment options available to relieve suffering. And guess what, folks? Suicide is now on the menu. Suicide, presented as a treatment, as if ending your life is just another checkbox on a form. They are weaponizing your doctors. The very people you trust with your health are being forced to push death on you. Dr. David D'Souza, a frontline family doctor and pain specialist in Ontario, says, if a physician is suggesting euthanasia as an option or a treatment option for their pain or their suffering, then that's a very serious thing, as a patient is more likely to take this option given that a health professional has suggested it. And he's absolutely right. Because when you, the patient, are scared and broken and trusting in the white coat, and you hear your doctor float death as plan A, you are now primed to go for it. I think it does severe harm to the doctor-patient relationship when physicians are now allowed and even suggesting euthanasia as a means to end their suffering. Harm is putting it lightly. This isn't guidance. It's a gun to the head. And who do you think is paying the price? It's the weak and the weary, the ones that the system was supposed to protect. Echoing D'Souza's warning, Johnston, a Vancouver family physician and head of BC's Euthanasia Resistance Coalition, explained that the regulations contradict previous promises that medical personnel would not be forced to participate in the practice. Promises were made that no doctor would ever be coerced to participate in euthanasia. No doctor or nurse would ever lose their job because they wouldn't cooperate with euthanasia. No hospital would have to do it. No nursing home, no palliative care unit would be forced to host doctors killing patients who want to die. All of that was complete fiction. All of those things have now happened. Fiction? Try felony. Hospitals are turning into hit squads where doctors can lose their jobs just for promoting life. And in case you guys didn't know, euthanasia has exploded 13-fold since it was legalized in 2016. It's the fastest death machine on the planet. In 2022 alone, over 13,000 Canadians were injected with death. That's 4% of all deaths, up 31% from the year before. If we extrapolate that to 2025's numbers, which hasn't been released yet, we'll be looking at around 90,000 deaths by assisted suicide ever since legalization. But Statistics Canada is burying this like it's a dirty secret, logging the illness and not the injection as the killer. Coincidence or cover-up? Now, picture this nightmare. You've got a loved one with brain cancer gnawing at their will. Then, 2 doctors skip therapy, skip support, and go straight to euthanasia or sedation. Ferrier of the Division of Geriatric Medicine at McGill University Health Center recalled doctors pushing assisted suicide on a family member who had brain cancer. According to Ferrier, when the first doctor assessed the man, he immediately presented only 2 options: euthanasia or palliative sedation. He offered no other alternatives, such as psychological or social support, that could help restore his will to live. It wasn't, let's fight this together, just, you're done. The doctor eventually referred him to a psychiatrist, but Ferrier felt that the psychiatrist's only focus was determining whether the patient was mentally competent to choose euthanasia, not on exploring ways to relieve his suffering while helping him to continue living. These 2 doctors were guys of his age, and I'm convinced that they looked at him and said, I wouldn't want to be in his shoes, so he's better off dead. And he is competent to make this decision, Ferrier recalled. Better off dead? That's not medicine. That's a mercy-killing cult masquerading as care. But it gets even darker, my friends. The doctor's warnings come just a week after Inclusion Canada CEO Krista Carr revealed that many disabled Canadians are being pressured to end their lives with euthanasia during routine medical appointments. Carr's statement supports internal documents from Ontario's doctors in 2024 that revealed Canadians are choosing euthanasia because of poverty and loneliness, not as a result of allegedly terminal illness. I covered that one in this video here. Holy hell, it's even worse than you thought, where I included this clip.
People with disabilities are now very much afraid in many circumstances to show up in the healthcare system with regular health concerns because they're often made as suggested as a solution to what is considered to be intolerable suffering that happens to be caused by some of the things like that this committee addresses, like poverty and the situations that people with disabilities disproportionately find themselves in compared to other Canadians.
Yes, you heard that correctly. Disabled people are being pressured to end their lives during routine medical visits. Doctors, nurses, and even social workers are suggesting MAID, medical assistance in dying, as if it's just another treatment option. And how often is this happening? Listen to this.
It sounds like what I'm hearing you saying is that people who have disabilities are interacting with healthcare, seeking other kinds of public services, are proactively being offered MAID when they're seeking completely different services. Is that?
That is correct.
Okay,
that is what I am saying.
Is that common? Are you hearing about that a lot, or is it weekly?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're hearing weekly complaints from people who live with disabilities who are seeking other kinds of services, and someone says to them, well, have you thought about MAID?
Yes.
This isn't mercy. This is murder by mandate, and it's hitting the forgotten the hardest. The disabled, who are begging for real support, are getting death brochures instead. So are you guys ready to let this poison pill just slip down your throats? Or are you fired up to fight back? Contact your MPs and flood them with the truth of these doctors' warnings. How about we fix the long wait times instead of meeting death quotas? Join the resistance, my friends. If you haven't seen this one, guys, make sure you check it out. The resistance to MAID is being challenged by death cult activists. Please join the fight for life, where in this video I spoke with Angelina Ireland from the Delta Hospice Society about her fight against MAID, how the government took her property for refusing to do MAID, and then sent death cult activists to shut her down. But that didn't stop Angelina and the fight for life. There is a resistance to MAID, and they need your support. And here I included a link to the Delta Hospice Society, where they do include a free DNE defense kit. That stands for Do Not Euthanize. And it's a whole kit that includes this pocket-sized card that you can give to a loved one that says, I require healthcare, not MAID. I, Jane Doe, have signed a Do Not Euthanize Advanced Directive. So this stops with us. Canadians. We have to reject this. So wake up and speak up before the option that they inform you of is the only one left. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you appreciate my efforts to bring you this information, you can buy me a coffee or two just by checking that link in the description. Thank you so much to everybody who takes 1 minute to contribute to my efforts. I can't do this work without you. Subscribe to this channel if you're new here, or follow me depending on wherever you happen to be watching this video. Click the thumbs up button, leave a comment, share this far and wide, and stay tuned, my friends. I'm going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.